Manchester United concede late to throw away 3 points against Crystal Palace, but were they robbed? Scott McTominay denied on the 71st minute a clear penalty. A clear penalty. The Palace defender does not touch the ball. He takes McTominay's legs away. VAR reviews and says no penalty. So we, of course, expect on the football terrace 5 days of media outrage over this catastrophic decision that robbed United of 3 points tonight. Fair play. You have to say fair play to Crystal Palace. They hung in there. United maybe could have killed this game off, but a terrible VAR decision. United do not get the opportunity to go second. Casemiro booked in this game as well. Javern, can you do me a favor? Can you get a light on my face? I look very blue. I look like a Smurf. I look like a Smurf over here right now. So disappointing night for Man United. We want to get your reaction to this. A lot of you are saying cry, and I will be angry. I will be angry. Yellow light, but that one on my face, that side. Yeah, put that one back on yellow. Again, turn off, turn on. And then that one there, just point it at my face. Yeah, that one there, if you could. That'd be great. Cheers, bro. Yeah, look, a disappointing night as a Manchester United fan in relation to that. Deserved it. Better team, the most chances on goal. We were a little scrappy in the second half, and I was annoyed that we weren't really breaking the lines in the way in which that I wanted to. The free kick at the end, you can't take nothing away from that. It was a sensational free kick. Brilliant goal, no doubt. But to be denied a penalty opportunity like that in the 71st minute is absolutely unforgivable. And I've defended teams like Chelsea this year in those regards. I've defended Arsenal this year when they had those guilt-edge penalties not given to them against Newcastle. And I would defend my own club in exactly the same way. I'm, of course, joined by Jessica Black tonight. United dropping points. Obviously, a good result for you. Casemiro out as well. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's a good result for Arsenal. I'm sure there's Arsenal fans all over the world that are excited about that result. And I think from a Manchester United perspective, that won't make you feel good, but it shows you that maybe we are a little bit scared of you guys. Like Casemiro, I think being out is more significant than the result to me, because head to head, like he's one of your best players. And so I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, he got the yellow, but there's a couple of things. I do think that it was going to be a scrappy game. You already had a really difficult game against Manchester City, in the weekend, and then you have to come midweek away from home, cold night, at Crystal Palace. And you could just sense that there was like a level of nervousness within the team in the second half. And they just didn't quite get it over the line. And so I think they will be disappointed because Crystal Palace were blunt. Like they had no chances. They weren't really, but besides, I mean, De Gea made 2 really good saves, but beyond that, you were pretty much in control.
Well, yeah. Mateta's shot was a good shot. I think it deflected, looped over the goalkeeper. Good save. And they had a good chance from a headed corner. And look, United should have put the game to bed.
Yeah.
But for me to be denied that penalty, I mean, what did you make of it? Did you personally think that this was a penalty on Scott McTominay?
Yeah, it looks like a penalty to me. I mean, in real time, or when they showed it again on the replay, it looked like a penalty. I think it's one of those ones where because, the referees want to make it clear and obvious errors, they don't want VAR to get too involved with this. It was one of those where I think they just went with the on-field decision. It's just, kind of one of those,
Yeah, I mean, this whole protecting referees thing is becoming a bit of a joke. And I know that at the World Club Championships, you told me earlier that they're going to be announcing to the stadium what VAR has said so that everybody, and they'll announce it to the TV audience as well, what's been said. We need that because I need to understand what's gone through this referee's mind. I need to understand what they're saying, because if they think, is it Chris
Richards?
Chris Richards. If they think he's touched the ball, they've got to show us evidence of that. If they think it isn't a foul, I need to understand why. Because if he puts it wasn't even one of those penalties where McTominay leaves his leg trailing or he's angling at the contact. He just takes him out. So I was very surprised not to see it given. Personally, look, you don't always score your penalties, but I back us to put it away. On Casemiro, listen, I did see your joy. It was the happiest you've looked all evening when that happened. And look, Arsenal fans are celebrating it. And that tells you one thing, that Man United with Casemiro were a threat because you wouldn't celebrate it at all if he was out. Arsenal fans are now exceedingly confident going into that game, and we'll preview that later on in the week, and they should be. They're the best team in the league, going up against Man United, who have a poor record away at the Emirates in recent years. So you should have been beating us with Casemiro, let alone without him. But yeah, it's disappointing to lose him and then throw away these points at the end. I feel kind of robbed tonight. But what I'm praying for is the media outrage. I'm waiting for that media outrage. Talk Sport. All the referee. I want it to be, front page news. I want the Prime Minister talking about it, as we saw with Rashford's correctly given offside decision at the weekend. I just want the debate there with it.
No, yeah. I mean, I think Manchester United fans will feel aggrieved by that. I mean, when you think you should have gotten a penalty, which it looked like a penalty, of course you're going to want the same outrage that you see for other things. The one thing that you haven't really touched on that, I want to get your thoughts and feelings on this is, I know you think that the right thing to do was to play Casemiro because you have to tackle the first game that you see. But do you think that he left Casemiro on too long? And because it looked like he was just about to sub him off before he got that yellow card. Do you think Erik ten Hag needs to take any sort of responsibility for that, seeing that the Sunday game was so important?
He's responsible for it because he's the manager. The same as if Arsenal collapse and don't win the league, it's on Arteta. He's the manager. You have to put the blame on your managers at all time. But is it the kind of mistake where I'm going to be right out on him? No, because we hadn't put the game to bed. The goal we conceded had nothing to do with him being on the pitch or not. It was a free kick that no goalkeeper in the world is saving. It was a fluke. Crystal Palace, they should be having a party tonight. That part of London, Croydon, the mayor should be declaring a state of celebration. It should be a national holiday for them in that area tomorrow because they just got given life in that game through that brilliant free kick. Am I annoyed with the manager? No, because if that free kick goes over or goes wide, we win the game. You're talking a hair's breadth away. If the referee doesn't cheat Manchester United tonight and gives us a penalty, we win the game 2-0 and nobody really talks about it. It was always a risk. I had a feeling all day he was going to get booked, but I wanted him to play. I'm not going to reverse my feelings on him starting because we didn't win the game. I thought it was the right decision beforehand, and I'll stick with saying it was the right decision afterwards because he actually had a brilliant game today. Casemiro was sensational today for Man United in terms of what he did in that midfield. I think what we saw tonight, though, was just, I said I want to say United are in a title race, and I stand by what I'm saying. I want to put pressure on us. You bounce back from this. I want us to go to Arsenal and try and win, because we have to see what the pressure does. And ironically, the pressure maybe got to us a little bit today. But you have to put your players through pressure to get them out the other end. The ones who are going to shine as diamonds and the others that are going to fall away over time. And we just didn't have enough in the end tonight. We weren't helped, as I say, by one of the worst refereeing decisions you'll see this season. It was an atrocity. No way, shape, or form about it. We'll take a look at some of these super chats here. First one said, imagine if Man United beat Arsenal on Sunday without Casemiro. Now that would be embarrassing. Well, it would be, because Arsenal fans are celebrating that Casemiro is not playing. Absolutely right. Again, if I was a Gooner, I'd be keeping my powder dry on that right now. But screenshots are plenty on Twitter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Giovanni here says, was a penalty, but now even because City were robbed. Yeah, I mean, look, people are going to say that. There's no doubt, and that's fair. But I want the same energy for the bad decision, please. You can defeat Chelsea and Arsenal all you like. You won't get the same reaction with Man United. We are hated. Better get used to it. Of course, we know we're hated. Get in Casemiro yellow. Drop in momentum is what Mr. Butt has got to say here. Hold that draw, Terry. You Man United fans needed humbling. Do you think I needed humbling, Jess?
No, I mean, I don't think that you were there are a lot of Man United fans that probably do need a little bit of humbling, but you're definitely not one of them. I don't think that you've been out here saying that you're going to win the league or anything. You've been honest about Man United's progression, which is there. That would have been 10 games won on the bounce. You can't, look at that and not be excited about that. So no, I don't think you needed a humbling. So yeah.
Shocking refereeing decision. Beneficiary responses cry. I felt like I heard this just the past weekend against City. Weird. The difference is that this is what I'd say is different about me. When I see other rivals of Man United get bad decisions against them, I call out the bad decisions. I don't just respond with the 10-year-old response of cry. You know, that's another one of those things that Elon Musk should be banning people for saying on Twitter. It's such bad banter because it doesn't mean anything. It's not responding. So I've called out multiple bad decisions against multiple clubs. I called out City getting a handball decision, which stopped Liverpool essentially from winning the league last year. Liverpool are my biggest, oldest rivals, but I called that out. So in terms of my own credibility, I've got loads. Anthony is instantly one-dimensional and overhyped player. One-trick pony. He can't beat a man. His right foot is useless, and he only cuts inside. To be honest with you, Joshua, second half, I wouldn't praise any of our attackers. The first half, I was really impressed with Anthony. I thought he did a really good job. His interplay was good. He was linking up well with the midfield and defense. He covered back defending. There was a great run. I mean, Richards got the tackle in, but he actually went at a man and run past him. I was really impressed. I was disappointed in the second half he faded, but I want more of that first half performance from Anthony. I thought so far in that game, it was one of the best I'd seen from him so far. Disappointed Casemiro got the yellow. I did not want United fans to have an excuse when we beat you to the ground. United is not in a title race. I like that, David. That's a proper confident fan of Arsenal there. I like that. You had the balls to say it as well. I would say this about United being in a title race. My saying that in it, go back and listen to what I said. The only reason I want Man United to have that pressure is I want to see who can handle it or not. That's my take. Did I say we'd win it? No, I still said the best we'd get is third. So, yeah, in terms of being in a title race, it depends what you define being in one. You know, there are some people, I listened to you stream the other day, and some gooners were saying to you, like, title races don't even start until like the end of March. Yeah. Depending on who's top. So everyone views title races a little differently. Yeah. I'm a Wolves fan, but I love the result. United fans got so cocky thinking they were in a title race. Arsenal are 9 points ahead of you muppets. Cry about VAR when you ignore Marcus Rashford last week. But Rashford's goal was legally onside. That's the crazy part about it. Bad rule, but legal. Tonight's foul on McTominay was a bad decision because it's against the law of the game. So they are different, but thank you for the super chat. It was a beautiful free kick, and no Casemiro against Arsenal is a godsend. Come on, you gooners. That's from Adam. Rashford was too focused on getting his goal and ignored free clear passes to players in better positions. I like Marcus, but he was so focused on himself. He didn't have a good game today, did he, old Rashford?
No, he didn't. But, I mean, he's built up good faith over a significant amount of time. I think I wouldn't say that he's been carrying United, but he's been the guy, you know? So I think he's earned a little bit of like, okay, that wasn't such a great game from him. You know, like, I don't think he was really like to blame. I think when you look at some of those passes that were coming in from midfield and from like Wan-Bissaka and players like that, I thought that they were actually really shocking. They hurt build up so badly that, you know, Rashford got a couple chances, but he probably needed a couple more, you know?
Yeah, like I get where Orlando is coming from. I do. He didn't have a great game tonight, but what I find disappointing, and you may not be a Man United fan, my friend, so I'm not angling this at you, is the guy's been on one of the greatest goal scoring runs in the club's history. You know, beat Dennis Violet's record. He was only, look, if he scored tonight, it'd been a game away from equaling Ruud van Nistelrooy's goal scoring record in a brilliant Man United team, by the way. And he has an off night. It's just an off night. You know, if this turns into 5, 6, 7, 8, then maybe start criticizing. But for me, he's built up. He's built up credibility. Yeah. We're in the top 4 race. We have to play our best team. We were never going to beat Arsenal, is what Nick says.
I was with you on the weekend, man. You weren't saying that on the weekend, man. No, I'm just joking. Neeks was not saying anything, like he wasn't carried away or anything, but still.
Wan-Bissaka, remontada that says for you lot, Casemiro is still better than Partey, but him out is a disaster. Ten Hag made bad subs, never a pen, strong tackle. DR, so how is it a strong tackle if he doesn't win the ball? Because he doesn't touch the ball. The replay clearly shows that. So are we now saying you can tackle a player, take him out, and not touch the ball? I'd love to get your response to that, my friend, because I don't understand how it's a good tackle or a strong tackle, but he doesn't touch the ball.
Can I say something about Wan-Bissaka, though? Like, excellent, excellent, excellent player defensively. Like, I thought for the most part, he had Zaha just like, I mean, in hell, like really. And I think that that does show that Eric Ten Hag is a good player, like a player that was definitely like on the outskirts of the team, like definitely like gone, now looking like he does. But what I will say is that you did see his limitations today and why Man United still need to bring in another right back if Delo is not the answer, because going forward, those passes, he just wasn't able to do it.
Yeah,
So.
no, there's no doubt. And I think Wan-Bissaka, like, this is what it comes down to. I'll always praise his defending ability. I think it's brilliant. The only thing he used to be quite poor at, he used to get caught under the ball a bit from long balls and crosses. Yeah. But defensively, he's one of the best right backs in the country. But going forward, we know this is about him. And if he plays enough games, his lack of quality will shine through again. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Sky King says, great free kick. Well done to Uncle Emery and Uncle Vieira this season. United's still a threat. Jessica Black, like the Dark Angel. So cool. Fair enough.
Okay.
Brandon here says United dropping points and Casemiro out of Sunday's game couldn't have gone any better for us tonight. What a tackle by Wan-Bissaka at the end. Yeah. By the way, Martinelli is going to be on top form to be on top form to get by him.
It's so true because like if Martinelli hasn't been on the best form, so I do expect him to maybe struggle a little bit against Wan-Bissaka. I know Arsenal fans won't like that. And then on the other side, I'd love to see Palalce. I know we won't, but Palalce wouldn't be able to handle Saka, but Luke Shaw is a different proposition. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I hear that. A lot of people are still saying me like the goal at the weekend was offside. I'll keep saying it and maybe you'll hear it one day. I believe those kind of goals should be offside, but by the letter of the law, it's onside. Simple as that. Terry, you say you should put pressure on referees, even if your team benefits from a bad decision, but you defend United benefiting from Rashford's decision at the weekend. You said you should put pressure on referees, even if your team benefits from bad decisions. Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying here. Do you? I don't get it.
Basically, everybody that's coming at you about this all think that it was a bad decision.
Yeah, but I've said it's not a bad decision. It's a bad law. And I've had this conversation on the terrace, and KJ will probably nod his head behind the scenes. He watched more of my streams than anybody. I always talk about, are we going up the decision or the law? And the law is bad. As an example, you know when it accidentally hits an attacker's arm, a full ricochet, hits his arm, comes down, he controls it, takes a touch, buries it. It's a bad decision to disallow it because it isn't a deliberate handball. But the law says you've got to do it. And that's my point, Abs. Tonight's penalty decision, it's not a bad law. They got it wrong. They got the law wrong. There's a fundamental difference, Abs. And I defend all clubs on this. By the way, should clubs put pressure on referees? Yes. I've got no issue with players surrounding referees. You should put if Man United can do something tonight, a statement, intimidate someone, which means we get the rub of the green and my team gets better decisions in our favor, I'm not going to cry about that. I'm not going to cry about that. Those two things can exist in reality at the same time. They're not they literally are mutually exclusive of one another. Ref decisions balance each other out. Surprised with the United second half performance, especially Rashford. Who's your midfield for against us on Sunday? Fred's going to have to start. Eriksen's got to start. I think we might go for a 3-man midfield. I think we'll end up putting Bruno out on one of the wings. And I think the midfield I think Fred will be in there with Casemiro, with Eriksen, I think is what we'll go. Off the top of my head, without really thinking about it, that's what we may go with. We're going to pack out the midfield like we did against Man City, I think, is what we'll do. Welcome to the effing Emirates. I don't know what that means. That's obviously French for something.
It's French.
Yeah, something in French. I'm not even going to try and say it. I don't know. I was going to do a Del Boy joke, but Del Boy is so irrelevant for a lot of young people. They probably think I'm being offensive. I'm not worried that Casemiro is out of the Arsenal game. We won against Arsenal with McFred, and we were a better team last time we played against Arsenal, is what Highton says here. Yeah, look, we can. This is the Emirates, so it's different, but we will be previewing that later. Me and Jess have got to film a show after this. That's going to be fun.
I also want to remind people that we didn't have Thomas Partey last time either, so...
It's true. The football gods on our side, Edu and the board aren't, is what Zeus Mode says here. That's quite funny. Arsenal fan, but Terry, as always, has been nothing but fair. So time to be fair with him. United were robbed. Thank you, Matthew. Do you know what's mad about? Do you know what I'm going to say to Matthew there? I'm very fair to all clubs. and I never get it back. But Matthew is giving it back. Thank you, Matthew. You've made me so happy that someone's actually giving me a taste of my own medicine. Thank you, sir. No point celebrating Casemiro's yellow if United end up winning that game. That drop point matters more. Casemiro out is just a cherry on top.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Bednar Banter, I think that says there. Bentner, what a player, better than Messi. Arsenal had no party away from home and disallowed Gabby goal. Now United have no Casemiro and a bad decision. The points cost call parallel. Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I wouldn't say is that the bad decisions definitely even themselves out. That there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But football fans have to question bad decisions, whether you benefit them from or not. Do you know what's crazy? If everybody was against bad decisions all the time, you would make refereeing better because you'd put pressure on them to change. But when tonight the referees will get praised by everyone but Man United fans for getting that decision wrong, there's no pressure on coming out and saying or doing anything.
Yeah.
That's the difference, I think. Got robbed again. Ref bottled it. Master of mind games. Media pressure again rubs United off the wrong way. And look, United fans will think that because Jurgen Klopp did it to us a few years ago. We get this decision go our way on Saturday. The pressure's on. The next game should get a penalty. Don't. I hear you, Ray. You're absolutely spot on there, my friend. Correct me if I'm wrong, but look back at McTominay's kick back of the defender and kicks the back of the defender. But he doesn't kick the back of the defender, Shabs. The defender puts his leg across McTominay. McTominay's won the ball when he's running through to the ball. And then McTominay hits his legs because the defender's gone for a tackle, missed the ball, and left his leg there. That's literally called tripping someone up. That's the definition of a penalty, Shabs, my old mate. It really is. Stonewall penalty. I do trust your judgment, Terry, as you're always fair and impartial as a gooner. I can't deny I celebrated the result in a yellow. But do you know what's funny, Michael Caine? Do you know what's crazy? The real banter is to say, you were robbed, and I'm happy about it. Not, it weren't a penalty. Because everyone goes, easy answer. That's, Michael, you get it. Michael's got a brain. Michael knows how to banter properly. Listen, Michael, you need to honestly go and buy your mum some flowers and your dad whatever he drinks because they brought you up right, Michael. You get it. Educated man there. Actually understands banter. What letter of the law? It was subjective call on whether he influenced. No, that it was subjective, but subjectively given right under the law because everyone keeps saying that Rashford got in Akanji's way. Akanji stopped himself from running. The goalie positioned himself for Rashford's shot, not Bruno's. Rashford didn't physically make him do it. If Rashford doesn't physically make them do it, not mentally, physically, not offside. Thank you. McFredrickson. That's quite a good name. I like that. It rolls off the tongue. We are going to get out Danny Devlin in the details, Omar, Dizzy, and KJ, but I've got to get through these super chats first. So when City get robbed, it's fine, but not United. No, I think I've called out some City's bad decisions that have gone against City in the past. I'm pretty sure I have. In years gone by, called out some decisions. I'm just trying to think of one off the top of my head. But no, I've called out all teams. I can't see how United got robbed here, is what Daniel said. And that's your fair point. If you don't think we got robbed, I respect that too. That was a defensive tackle. He never kicked his leg. He was blocked, not a pen. We are beating United on Sunday. Glory, come on, you Gooners. Greetings from Finland. Hello, Chris John from Finland. I like your picture as well. It actually made me, I don't know why it made me laugh. It's just funny. Never a pen, Terry. Never a pen. Rule state it has to be clear and obvious error. As you said the other day, that's the rules, was never in the race. I would say this. We don't know whether it was clear or obvious because we don't know what the ref and VAR have said to each other. So that's why we need transparency on that. To whether it's we never know if it's clear or obvious because we never know what the ref has or hasn't seen. As an Arsenal fan, I am glad United dropped points. They are very good this season. Surely title challengers next season. Keep up the good work, Terry. Thank you very much, bro. How the hell we got humbled with a free kick in the 90th minute? Go back to sleep. Rivals is what Joshua Jack says. Terry, you were robbed. Don't care. Come on, you Gooners. We move on. Gerard, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you agreeing with me there. Brandon here says, this is why I hate sections of our fan base getting cocky on Twitter, like the game on Sunday is already won. Just calm yourselves, Arsenal fans. Now, I like it because it gives me content for the fan channel review show. I just start building it up now. It's good. I like it. Bring the banter. Have some fun. Listen. We're gonna go to some calls now. Danny Divilland, details to come. Omar Dizzy to come. KJ on with us first. Talk to me, my friend. Talk to me.
Oh, I'm gutted, man. I'm gutted. People will say we're never in the title race and laugh. Cool, innit? But I wanted to be in it. And this was the moment. This and playing Arsenal were the moments to become into the title race. And I wanted that. What football fan wouldn't want that for your club? Why would we want to stay there in the same position and not want to win the league when we can win the league? So I'm upset. I'm gutted because that second half was atrocious. It was coming. The passing was poor. I believe those players went in halftime. They got the goal. I'm like, yeah, cool. We'll be fine now. We can just ride our luck and we'll get a second goal late on and we'll be fine. We need to stop doing this. I was stressed before the game. You can see my tweets. I was nervous because I knew something was coming tonight. We had a chance to go 10 in a row. First time since 2009. Palace on the worst run of form they've seen in this season. They were always going to be up for this fight. They could have got a draw against Chelsea. So I wanted the players to be switched on. I wanted the players to be focused. And that second half, they weren't. And brilliant free kick from Olise. We know the quality that he has. But we shouldn't be conceding free kicks in the 90th minute of a game. We should be keeping the ball. We shouldn't be trying to score a goal when we've got the goal that we need. You got about 5 minutes left. Keep the ball. Rashford, don't know what he was doing today. I love him, but he was poor today. He was so poor today. He got the pre-assist, whatever you want to call it, cool. But other than that, he was just doing what he was doing in poor form. Running at players when he needed to run. Passing when he shouldn't be passing. It was just highly frustrating. And the pen, I don't care if it was or wasn't. It shouldn't matter. We should be winning that game regardless. I think McTominay is going down a bit easy there. I personally think he's looking for the pen. And so the pen not being given, me personally, I've got no issues with it. It is what it is. We have to be better than that today, man. Just out of the title race before it starts, man. And when you got a chance to capitalize, you got to take it. And that's Man United of old that we just seen there. And I hope Ten Hag fixes it on a weekend because getting something out of Arsenal game is going to be tough now.
Look, and I respect what you said then, mate. And I think that element of those gateway moments, as we call them on the terrace, stepping up to the plate, I can understand the frustration of us not being able to do that. I think as well, though, that there are times where we've been really good in this run of nine games up till now. We've played well in every single one of those games and deserve to win. You're not going to play well in every single game. Sometimes you scrape these results. And that's why, for me, this isn't like we've played bad. You know, on the Ollie, it was bad performance. We were scraping wins. And you might have a game like this where you threw it away at the last minute. I wouldn't really look at referees. It's just because we've been so good in so many other games. When you just need the referees to do their job right, because we're not maybe at our best, we needed that help from the officials today in terms of them giving us what we needed and what we deserved out of the game. But I do understand your point, that disappointment of kind of throwing away this big opportunity. And it makes Sunday even bigger now. Sunday's even bigger than it was already going to be.
Yo, Sunday for me now is a write-off, bro. In terms of just leave there with Sutton because the chance to be in the title race is now done. We got to focus on top four. We got to focus top four, focus on the Carabao Cup, League, the FA Cup and Europa League. As long as we get in top four, which I believe we can get, then it's calm, innit? But I hate being so close to potentially doing something and we always fall away. This reminds me of 2 years ago when we got top of the league around this time as well. We go win important games and then we lose to Sheffield United. It's like, what is the point of doing what we're doing? So I'm enjoying what United are doing. I'm happy with Ten Hag. I'm happy with the players. But these are just one of those games where you just look at it and it's like, this is why we're not ready to win the league yet. And hopefully next year we can do that. But right now we need to keep building. And yeah, that Arsenal just leave there with Sutton on Sunday. And I'm taking that, you know what I'm saying?
JJ
Like
from around the
Arsenal
way.
fans, now Arsenal have to win the game.
We
kind
have
of
to win now because we are acting a whole fool. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, look, I hear you, bro. But I'm just going to say this about Sunday. Free hit. It's a free hit. No, it's not. There's no free hits when you're Man United, biggest team in the world, can't have a free hit. KJ, appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man. Chat to you soon. We're going to go to some more super chats in a moment. Danny Devil in the details is here. What you saying, bro?
Oh, man. Frustrated, Terry. To lose it in that way, free kick. And David De Gea, he never shuffles for those free kicks like that, by the way. Like, if you actually pay attention, it's one of his weaknesses. But maybe I'm being harsh on him. Do you know what it was, Terry? When I saw that lineup, I was like, wow, Ten Hag's ahead of the game here. For his first season in the Premier League, for him to understand what an away fixture in January is at Crystal Palace and pick that team, I was like, it's actually surprising he gets it and understands the Premier League that quickly. But then what frustrated me a little bit was 10 minutes into that second half, it was clear we weren't going to control that game. And the only way we were going to get any foothold was by winning battles. Like, I saw Palace against Tottenham, different team today, and we expected that. We had to win defensive duels. I just put out the tweet. The reason why Casemiro got that yellow is because he was overworked. He was carrying two people. Well, it was an extra person in Eriksen. First half, Eriksen excellent on the ball. He contested two. Think about that game, Terry. Think about the game you just watched away at Crystal Palace. Think about that game. 2 duels contested. I don't care if he won them. He only contested two defensive duels in 82 minutes of football. And the second one was like in the 75th minute. It was clear in that second half we had to win duels to get a foothold in that game. And I was disappointed that Ten Hag didn't make those adjustments. The plan B, and it's just constructive criticism, Ten Hag has got, post-World Cup, he's got everything perfect. Damn near everything apart from tonight. So I'm just being constructive because I'm frustrated and critiquing him. This plan B of Bruno right wing is getting predictable. Other than that long pass to Dalot in the second half against Fulham, when has it worked? When has it worked?
No, I agree.
Anthony getting subbed is predictable now. It's getting subbed. He's just not up to the speed of these types of games. Garnacho's a winger. Can we see him right wing? We've got Pillastri. Can we see him right wing? Bruno right wing. Take him off. If you don't think he's offering you what you want in the middle, get him off. Put a winger on. It doesn't work for Bruno right wing. Aside from that, though, yeah, that's it. That's the only critique I could have, just because that second half, it was blatantly obvious. Post-World Cup, have we really played good football? No. Were we going to in that second half by keeping Eriksen on? No. Just win your battles. That's what we had to do. And yeah, look, we could have got the result. They didn't score that free kick. But again, they were coming onto us, Terry, because we couldn't get a foothold and control that match.
Yeah, listen, I think your critique there around the right-hand side is key. And the first and second half were different. As I say, I was really impressed with Anthony in that first half. He was battling, but I was personally, I quite like, I mean, I've been, you'll know, Jess, I've been really critical of him in every game I've seen him playing. Like, we've watched probably every game together this year where I've been like, not happy with what he's done. But in that first half, I liked his link-up play. He run at a few people. Defensively, he's always been pretty good. He gets back and tracks back. But the second half, he was kind of getting, you could just see like there was slightly overrun. And Palace away, like, it was going to be different to the Spurs game. When Man United go away from home, teams often play differently against us. There is an extra fight. I've been to a lot of these away grounds. The atmosphere when you're there is putrid sometimes as an away fan, because the desperation to beat us is so strong. And yes, maybe some earlier changes would have made a difference. I stand by what I say. I still think we should have been awarded a penalty. And I feel like
on that, Terry, I'm sick of you being fair with rival fans. They'll never be fair with you. You need to remember all the childhoods we ruined, Terry, and all the friends when we were teenagers. Yeah. Oh, you brought the Premier League and the refs. I miss those days.
It's funny because, I mean, I called out Jermaine Pennant today because that's what he said. He went, the Fergie days are back and they're paying off refs. And we're not there yet. And what's crazy is if we become the best team in the country and one of the best teams like competing for the title and stronger, and as Ten Hag's influence in English football grows, we will get more decisions again. Like, it just happens. We all know when Klopp came out 2 seasons ago and said, United don't stop getting penalties, do they? We didn't get a penalty for about 9 months. And it was like there's something in that. There is a psychological thing with referees when it goes that way, mate. But yeah, look, I get your disappointment. And what's your thoughts ahead of the Arsenal game? Confident or a little worried?
Right now, I'm deflated. I'm deflated right now. But look, I've been saying this even before the City game. Once we get through that Arsenal game, we have 18 matches left, and we don't have to play City or Arsenal again. So you have to think of it from a long-term point of view. And this Palace game, it got sandwiched in between those 2 fixtures anyway. So 6 points. Sorry, how many points? Sorry, my bad. 4 points. The last 2 games. Can't complain. A little bit deflated. But listen, the way Arsenal fans have been talking, give me a few days in it. Just give me a few days.
My view is this. I was just looking at the Premier League table a second ago. Like, we're on 39 points. We're a point ahead of Newcastle now, and we're 6 points ahead of 5th place. But this is why I want us to think title race as a club and look forward. If you're chasing Arsenal and you end up failing to catch them, when you look behind you, you'll be 12, 15 points safe in the top 4. Like, if you look backwards, you're going to get caught. You've got to look forward and keep sprinting.
On the title race thing, again, you said it, different definitions. For me, it's defined by points. When I say title race, doesn't mean I think we're going to win it. It's just like a 10,000 meter race. You might be at the front of the pack until the last 5 laps and then you fall away. That could still be us this season. Like I said, after Arsenal, no matter what happens, 18 matches to play. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I would say I don't think the race is off, because you just don't know what's going to happen. If we nicked a point at Arsenal, that would make us 7, 8 points behind. But listen, Arsenal are brilliant right now, but they could lose both their games against City, and we could win their respective fixtures and be 2 points behind. I always look at title races with 4 to 5 games to go. If you're genuine, not just mathematically, but genuinely got a chance of winning it, you've been in that title race, and that's where you got to try and keep yourself. But even if we are, I still don't expect us to finish above 3rd where we are now, because City are better than us, in my opinion, and Arsenal are definitely better than us. So yeah, big weekend ahead. Danny, always a pleasure to speak football with you, my friend. We'll chat again soon. Top man. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, my Dizzy coming on the show very soon. We want to do some more of your comments coming through here. Casemiro didn't want to face Party. Do you think that's what it is? Do you think he bottled the Party challenge, Jess?
Yeah, 100%.
Zaha is nowhere near what he used to be. Might as well bring Pepe back instead of signing Zaha. Basically the same player.
Can I just say, so like, any Arsenal fan that is still crying for Zaha, please let it go. He's dusted. I mean, you saw it. Eriksen. I thought it was Luke Shaw. When I saw Zaha try to go past whoever was at left back, I was like, oh, Luke Shaw dealt with him so easily. They said it was Eriksen.
It was Eriksen. It was.
Please don't. Zaha, no. He could be an Arsenal fan. He did us a little bit of a favor today, but absolutely not.
Yeah, he's just the thing is with fast players. When you get to your 30s and beyond, if your career, especially at Palace, you know how much work he had to put in at Palace. He hasn't had the luxury of a Ronaldo where he didn't track back for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, this man's got to run up. The man played for Roy Hodgson for he's done. Like, his body's falling apart. United get a holding midfielder in before Sunday. Yeah, go and sign Declan Rice tomorrow for 80 million. Just if Todd Bowley was our owner, maybe that could happen. How are United fans so deluded in a title race? See, listen, there are some Arsenal United fans out there who, I'm not going to name them because they haven't shown up tonight, who were like, I think United can win the league. I can't speak for other Man United fans. I would never do that. I can only speak for myself. And what I said, my friend, is I want to put pressure on us to believe we could be in a title race, to believe we should push. Not because I think we can win it. I do not believe we can win it this year. But because I want to test out what players can handle the pressure, or through the pressure of these games, you develop better football players. Equally, if we're focusing on Arsenal and trying to catch them, I believe we'll leave the 5th and 6th and 7th place teams behind. And we're 6 points ahead of Tottenham now. I don't know, like 10 games ago, how far away from them were we? With our form and their form, we've got a very good opportunity of, we're not guaranteed, but we're one of the favourites for the top 4, which we weren't ever expected to be this year. First year of our rebuild. And look where we are compared to other people's rebuilds in the past. Look how long it took Liverpool under FSG to get back to even being in the top 4 and in title races. 4 or 5 years? So, yeah, look, very, very happy with where we are right now. Once again, the most fair creator out here, but what a birthday present for me, this result. First of all, happy birthday, my friend. And I do try to be fair. Being fair doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to agree with my opinions. But the one thing I don't do is moan about Man United's decisions and never criticize anybody else's. I had a Twitter video I put out once that legitimately did nearly 1 million views of me criticizing a decision that went against Chelsea. And, you know, I was always fair. No Partey versus Casemiro again. Denied the 2 best DMs again. I really want them to go head to head. The thing is, though, they don't go head to head. It's Partey versus Bruno, and it would have been Casemiro versus Odegaard. That's the actual head to head.
Yeah, but then you compare notes after and you
Who
see
did
what
better?
DM did better, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. It would have been nice. It's a little bit, this is becoming a bit like Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Like, we want to see it when they're in their pomp as well. We want to see it in their pomp. Cheer up, Terry. United were robbed, but what can you take from Arsenal fans celebrating is United are making us nervous. I celebrated the pen, not going to lie. 100%. And do you know what,
Yeah.
Steve? Of course, this young lady next to me all night was pretending she weren't watching it. Once we went, she was like this until the 43rd minute. Bruno scored, and then it was this on the phone, in the group chat, in the thing. And then the yellow card happened. Yes! And then the engagement was there right until the end of the game. That was it.
You're damn Skippy. You are damn right, of course. The minute he got that yellow, I was like, whoo!
Honestly, I thought champagne was coming out. Thought she was going to run around the room. Legit. I was like, my word.
And then Palace scored, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Like,
I know.
yeah.
I nearly left the room.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You held back the smiling a little bit.
Yeah, I tried.
A little bit.
But here's the thing. We were here watching Tottenham Arsenal, and it wasn't Terry, but there was another United fan in here that was watching the game. And when Højbjerg flopped like a fish, they Pen Saliba? Was that Saliba? Did he get a yellow? Yeah, KJ, I'm talking about you. So we're all the same, okay? Like,
whoa. You can't be doing that now. You can't be doing that now. I wanted a fun game. I wanted the fun game. That's all I wanted, Jess. You're smelling sinister. I don't smell sinister. I smell fun in it. Enjoy the time.
Sinister.
Sorry to say, but Rashford was too selfish tonight.
Yeah.
Mate, the thing is, we say too selfish, but I want him to be. That is crazy because when he wasn't scoring a lot of goals 2 or 3 years ago, before he went on really good scoring runs, the Michael Owens of this world, all the deadly strikers that would comment on him as a pundit. I swear I remember Henri saying this as well, saying he isn't selfish enough. He isn't ruthless enough.
Yeah.
The problem is with high goal scorers is they're typically selfish. Don't use Messi as an example because he's an alien. He isn't, like, Messi shouldn't be used as an example against anybody else. But most goal scorers are selfish. You can't, for me, like, give and take. You can't have your cake and eat it on that one.
He's in a good moment. He's going to be selfish.
Yeah. As much as I hate Man United, you got robbed with not getting that penalty for Scott McTominay. But should Casemiro even been on the pitch, Terry, as I feel he should have been sent off? I mean, in fairness, he could have got a red card for that tackle, to be fair. I think that's a fair comment because it was very high. I think what helped him, and we've seen it a lot this year with like stud showing tackles. If you're not catching someone on their knee or their shin, like full pelt, they're kind of not sending people off.
Yeah.
And they're even being quite reluctant to give out yellow cards. Like we're seeing so many games where players should be booked and they're not being booked.
I just think Casemiro forgot he wasn't in La Liga anymore. This ain't Real Madrid.
Not Real Madrid.
You're getting booked. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Terry, I got your back on Sunday. Don't worry. Thank you, Anthony Taylor.
If he turns around and is
someone screenshot this. We'll send it.
I'll be so upset.
PGMLO. Jess Smile, you're happy about the yellow?
Yeah, I am. But yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to be too happy.
Yeah, because you know if that happened, you're walking home. You're walking home.
Like, I don't want to be too happy.
Yeah, it's like You're walking home all the way back. It's happening. Thank you, Michael, for becoming.
No, you guys, when we watched Man City, Man United, and they got beat 6-3, I laughed a little bit. He stormed out of the room a little bit, and like, who doesn't laugh? I was like, oh, it's 5-1 or whatever it was, and he was out of the room.
Hang on, though. If we're going to tell stories, when Man United beat Arsenal. Legitimately, this lady here, we drove home from here. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Sunday. We drove home from here on the Sunday. This lady didn't come out the bedroom and talk to me until Tuesday afternoon. Legit, about 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, she came out the bedroom and was like, would you like any food? And I was shocked. I'd heard no noise in my house for 48 hours. My ears were in trouble. They didn't understand it. You know, when Superman first lands on Earth and his ears are all funny? That was me. 2 days, no talk. 2 days.
That's because he kept playing the highlights on repeat.
It's true.
Come on.
It's legit. It is what it is. Daniel here says, people are talking like United can't do anything because of squad depth. Arsenal's squad depth is worse than ours. We'll bounce back. Top 4 is a cert.
It's not a trophy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, look, top 4 definitely isn't a cert, and but it's close to it in terms of when you look at how we're playing. And tonight was a speed bump, but. Listen, the last speed bump you had with Aston Villa, if we go on a run after this game as good as that, I'll be very happy. Daniel here says, if you are a United fan going into the Arsenal game, seriously and honestly speaking, don't be confident heading to the Emirates. Is what Daniel says here. If you go deep in Europa, you'll struggle for top 4. Maybe. Like, again, I think we'll see what's going on. Listen, if we end up being 12 points, 15 points clear of, say, whoever's in 5th, I think we won't go as hard for the Europa League and we'll rotate and play a lesser squad. If we're sitting 4th place and there's 4 teams behind us that are 2 or 3 points away, we're going to have to go for both because, you can't afford to throw away opportunities.
Yeah.
Chris here says, what a free kick. No one should feel salty about not winning because of it. De Gea was on fire too, but that was Casemiro doing that Razor Ruddock tackle like that. Yeah, it was a crazy tackle from him. But what was more annoying is I was getting ready, I had my notes ready. I was talking about Casemiro masterclass. The way he performed was so good in the middle. And then that tackle followed by a free kick and the equalizer. And it's like, I ain't chatting about that no more.
You know, we haven't even spoken about Weghorst. We haven't spoken about him in his debut, like literally at all. It's like the lowest thing on.
I think because like I thought he played okay, Weghorst. I thought he held the ball up well at times. There was a good little bit of interplay. The second half, though, we just weren't getting the ball past the bank of 5 midfielders.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really able to impact the game. I thought he did okay. And I think that the irony is we should have seen the game out. We should have had a penalty and put the game to bed. And then it would have been exactly what he's been brought in to do, in my opinion. In games like this against the bottom half of the league, these are where he should be starting, and Martial's injury-ridden body should be getting rested. Now, Martial might not be fit by Sunday, but Martial would start for me against Arsenal if he was fit, and Weghorst would be on the bench as an alternative option. But then when we play the Carabao Cup games, Weghorst starts both of them for me. But yeah, I thought he did okay. What was your thoughts?
I just thought he got kind of lost in the game because, obviously he's a different type of striker. So the players around him have to adjust. They've been playing with a false 9 for so long. Yeah. You have to figure out a way to get, of course, the service in the box. So I thought he was okay. Like, it wasn't catastrophic or anything, but, it was just a debut that didn't really pass him by per se, but it just wasn't like that memorable because it just was, wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was good. I'll give him a 6. Any lower. He wasn't poor. I'll just give him a 6. And it is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. Let's have a look at some more of these super chats here. Remember, it's our stream, my show, but my stream, but your show is what we always say. What a free kick. Oh, sorry, I already done that one there. Sorry there, Chris. Thank you, Chris P. As a Man City fan, I think United winning against Arsenal is psychologically more important for us than it is for United. Oh, yeah, City fans become Reds on Sunday, especially as they must play they play Tottenham tomorrow. And then I don't even know when they then play again. City? Sorry, my computer's gone all weird. So let's have a look at the Premier League. We're looking at the fixtures on the screen in front of us. So we obviously know that they play tomorrow night, which is huge for them, and then they play. They kick off against Wolves before that game. So so City have 6 points available before Arsenal kick a ball again.
They could be 2 points behind us by the time we kick off.
By the time you kick off. And then that's what I mean by like how quickly things can turn. They win those 2 games, City, which is not a given, and then Man United pulled off a shock, smash and grab win. Then suddenly that's gone from being an 8-point lead to a 2-point lead in a few days. It's crazy. But we'll see what happens.
But you're losing to Spurs, so it doesn't matter.
United will be 3 points off Arsenal by Sunday, they said. The title challenge, they said, yada, yada, yada. Football is a humbler, is what Kenny says. It certainly is, my friend. Pride comes before the fall, though, Kenny. Mate, be honest, you're a closet Arsenal fan.
No.
If you go watch the opening 10 minutes of my video after we beat City and tell me I'm a closet City fan, if you still think that, Sparky, and you believe it truly, donate £500 to the terrace and I will times it by 100 and donate £5,000 to a charity, if you truly believe it. Arsenal W incoming, no doubt in my mind, is what James Adams says. And Mike Mooney says, Jess, love you. Come on, you Gooners. Terry, love your channel. You are the best straight shooter on YouTube. Thank you, Mike. I knew this team was special in pre-season. We all knew Arsenal were going to be special in pre-season. We all knew that. Debbie, thank you for becoming an official member of the terrace. I appreciate that. Speaking of robberies, can you admit Arsenal robbed the Old Trafford and Nelly's goal should have stood? You said it was a foul. PGMOL said no. Yeah, I still think it. Do you know what's funny? I still think it was a foul. I stand by it. I still think it was a foul. He didn't touch the ball. He hit the player's leg first. And I stand by it. But go back, my friend, and look back through multiple match reactions this year and look at other things that I've said of fouls, and you'll see I've been very, very similar. We were actually saying earlier, though, that those early season sort of challenges from behind that weren't being given, they were saying no. They're all back to being given again now. There was one on Luke Shaw from Zaha earlier on in the game today, and we were like, that's not a foul, but they're all being given. So in terms of right now, if that happens again this Sunday, that will be given as a foul to either side, in my opinion, my friend.
Yeah.
Cass had one job to do and bottled it. Should have been subbed earlier. United's defense was caught sleeping. Nervous times. The pen is subjective.
With Casemiro, though, like the thing is like he can't do his job thinking about the yellow card, especially once they got stretched. So like I can kind of understand like from his perspective is, oh my gosh, like I don't want them to score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what is he going to do?
Well, I mean, the irony in it is if we don't concede that last minute free kick, that foul essentially saves Zaha running through on goal, which he could have scored. So I do get your point. And the penalty, of course, the penalty is subjective. Seeing someone reacting by United fans saying back to reality, had our worst half since Villa, but we're going to overreact. Yeah, listen, I would say don't overreact. I would say criticize and be constructive, be annoyed, call out the ref if that's what you think. But this United team doesn't suddenly, the progression doesn't, your rivals have been waiting weeks for a game where we weren't at our best to go, you're rubbish and you're being humbled. We know we're progressing and moving forward. We know we're on the right track. We know we're about to get beautiful, shiny new owners. So listen, Man United fans, still be happy. Don't be triggered. Oh, my Dizzy's here with us now. Shirt will be on today, I assume.
Yeah, I got my shirt on today. I can take it off if you want. I mean, it don't take too much time.
I'm good, my G. I'm good.
Well, what was I gonna say? Yo, listen, everybody, take a deep breath. Right, rivals, take a deep breath. United fans, take a deep breath. This is what happened. We were not at our best. First and second half, very sloppy. Yeah. We were in control of the game still. And we conceded a last minute world-class quality free kick from Olise. That's what happened. Rival fans have been waiting since the end of the World Cup, which was a clear full month ago, to say, that's what's happened. So you mean to tell me, so this is humbling. So United's new humbling is drawing to Crystal Palace. After a 9-game win streak, now we've been humbled because we drew a game. We didn't lose, we drew a game. Now we're humbled. Is that not something to smile about, or am I bugging?
The humbling is that a lot of United fans had like said, okay, well, once we beat Crystal Palace, then we're going to go to the Emirates and then we'll be whatever points. I think it's more that it was like the assumption and almost like we're definitely beating Crystal Palace and then going to the Emirates. I think it's more that the draw in itself is not a humbling at all. Like, you guys are still unbeaten in 10, but I think it's just more that than anything. And it's really just banter and just fun. Like, Man United are a good team. Everybody's afraid that Man United are going to get back up to the top, but it's just that day where we get to sit around as rivals and say, ha, and try to make you guys like second guess it.
No,
I feel like it's working a little bit though. I feel like on socials I need to check because I feel like some people are probably overreacting.
You know what?
Really?
You know what I did, but I always said don't talk to me about a title challenge until after the Arsenal game. The City game, I was gassed. Yes, the shirt was off in that. Yes, I was gassed. But the fact of the matter was, it felt good because it was a direct contrast to the way we played them the first time. But the reality of the situation is this little week was always gonna be difficult. Going to Arsenal, who are right now the best team in the league, bar none. They've showed up to the Crystal Palaces, the Brightons, and the tricky little teams that come away with a point. They've showed up to them and slapped them and gone home with 3 points. They're the best team in the league right now. So we could quite easily, even if Casemiro didn't have the yellow card, we could have easily went to the Emirates and came away with nothing, to be honest. Because Arsenal is the best team in the league right now. But what I will say is I'm not making no excuses. We're going into that game. I want something. Before the Man City game, we said 5 points from the next 3 games, we'll be happy. We're on 4 right now. If we can come away with a draw, I think it's still all to play for. We're directly at the midpoint of the season, and the reality of the matter is there's 19 games left, and I think we've played everybody in the top 6. We've beaten everybody in the top 6. We've lost to City and who's the other one? Is that it?
Yeah.
We've lost to City.
That's it.
Villa, City, Brentford, Brighton.
Have you guys beat any of the big teams at away from home?
No.
So yeah, that's
no. We still have to go away from home and play them all. But the reality,
that's what's hard for us. We have got to go away to those teams. So it's
not on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
That what y'all starting on Sunday, okay?
I hear that. Dizzy though, I get where you're coming from in terms of people who've been waiting for this. All we have to push back on our team now is again, losing to Arsenal on Sunday, the only way it's embarrassing is if you get annihilated. 3-4 goals, not in the game. You play well and lose 2-1. It's annoying, but you don't walk away from it being, you don't feel embarrassed from that because you're going up against the best team in the country away from home. It's the games after that, the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Let's get through them. Let's get ourselves into a cup final where we can win a trophy, and we have to look beyond that. And again, like Arsenal fans all year, they're being goaded into thinking if they don't win the media are doing it. If you don't win the league, it's failure. We were predicted coming 10th by most media outlets, the highest 7th. Now it's like, imagine if you don't make the top 4. Well, we weren't meant to make it anyway. So it isn't embarrassing to be where we are right. In fact, everyone who said we had no chance of top 4 right now should be embarrassed, not Manchester United.
I'll say this though, hear me and hear me clearly. I hate Arsenal with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. I hate Arsenal, bro. We could lose 1-0 after the most majestic performance from the United team you've ever seen and the scrappy Arsenal goal. I will be pissed. We could lose from a first-minute goal and the rest of the way we give it to them. I don't care how we lose. If we lose to Arsenal, I'm gonna be pissed. There's no two ways about it.
Rivalry is back, y'all. It's there. It's there.
I know it's there.
Because you're saying that, and I'm like, yeah, like that little scrappy goal. I want y'all to play good, and I want Anthony Taylor to give us a penalty, and I want us not to deserve it. Like,
100%. Dizzy, listen, my friend. I'm sure we'll speak on Sunday. Until next time, bro. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, mate. See you soon. Thank you. Yeah, Sunday's gonna be
toxic.
Painful. I think Arteta will have learned from United's last game, is what Gunnar Ryan says. I'm sure he has. Disappointing result. I think we should have had a pen, but only have ourselves to blame for not taking our chances. We go again Sunday. Come on, United. Very positive there from King Cantona. And waiting for Man United fans' meltdown compilation on the terrace. Well, there will be a fan channel review tomorrow. And the crazy thing is, people say, oh, you don't do other teams. And I'm like, imagine thinking the terrace hasn't laughed at United fans reacting badly. The problem is, in the last 3 or 4 months, there's been barely anything bad to react to. It's not my fault, my bro. It's not my fault. Did you see Ten Hag's face after Casemiro's yellow? Yeah, he looked disappointed, and he will be disappointed. But I remember a time when Man United fans slammed Ollie because Fred was booked, and Fred ended up getting sent off. And everyone's like, I see, manager's stupid for leaving him on. And I'm like, so I read a stat that says something like 2% of players that are booked get second yellows. So it was like saying to Man United fans, so by that logic, whenever a player gets booked, they should be subbed off instantly now, irrespective of who they are, in case they get a second yellow. No, it just doesn't work that way. You know, and if we'd have dropped Casemiro tonight and the same result happened, it would have been, we'd played Casemiro, we'd have won 4-0, and we threw it away. Hindsight's a very lucrative commodity. It really is. I'm an Arsenal fan, but this is the funniest channel ever. Come on, you gooners. Thank you, Debbie.
Yes,
Deb.
Debbie.
It's the best channel. It's the best channel ever. And we're only really just getting started. We're only just getting started, is what I would say. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has tuned in tonight. I really do appreciate it massively. Please make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace before you leave and smash the like button. Let's get it past 1,000 likes. Tomorrow, fan channel review in the morning. I don't even know what's happening in the afternoon, but there'll be some content in the afternoon. And then, of course, Tottenham Man City match reaction in the evening. Friday, the 12th man will be out. Me versus this little beauty. And yes, I'm not being sexist. It's my other half as well, so I can call her that on camera without getting into trouble. In case you didn't know. And what else? And Top 6 show back on Friday as well. So lots coming up for you. Hit the like and the share buttons. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Congratulations to Palace. And the ref today, what a goddamn